Sir.
Good evening. How are you people? Doing good?
Yes, sir. Good. How are you, sir?
Good. So still people are joining. No? We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start. So have you people installed Anaconda in your system?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it working? Have you checked it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So how many of you have installed it? How many of you have not installed it? Or whoever not installed, please let me know. So first case study we'll see on Monday. So I've given you enough time to install Anaconda. So before Monday, I want you people to install it so that we will have case study. So how this case study will work is I will circulate data set with you and then we will start modeling all together. Okay, along with me, you people have to do whatever I am doing it. Or whatever I ask you to do it. Okay. So
Okay.
this is the way we'll do this. So randomly I will pick people and ask him to share his what you call the monitor so that I can see whether what he is doing. So my target is to teach you all people how to model it. Okay, that will be fine.
Okay.
So all have to work because randomly I will ask people to share their screen and if they are not able to do, -1 will be there. So Abhijit, are you in the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Abhijit. So I used to ask question in class, so and people used to answer it. So whoever answer it, just please add 1 mark for them. Make what you call Excel sheet and then try enter it. Give date and start entering marks. So last class someone has answered it. I think I have noted it down.
Yes, sir.
I will share with you.
Yes. Do
Okay.
share that information with me. Plus, from today onwards, means.
Yeah, yeah. From today onward, you start doing it, and
Yes, sir.
before that, whatever I have accumulated it, I will give it to you.
Okay, sir. And sir, there could be few connection errors. Like there could be certain times that I would be working on something, or I might have a connection error. So, if in that case, if I miss anything, you can send me or forward me the rough marks or note sheet after every class, and I will make a proper data entry in Excel according to you.
Yeah, I'll do that. No issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So shall we start? Can anyone summarize exactly what we have learned in last class, so that we will continue from that? Who will do it? Who will get 1 mark? Who want 1 marks?
Sir, in last class, we try to learn what is Gini index and how we calculate Gini
I
and
cannot
also
hear you properly. Actually, others, are you able to hear him properly? Yeah, try it again.
Sir, in last class, we tried to learn how to. Hello.
Yeah. Yes. Please go ahead.
How to calculate Gini index and how to calculate information gain.
I didn't hear you properly. Some other, can anyone try again.
Sir, we learned how to calculate gene index and the information gains in case of classification and regression.
Okay. Okay. So today we are going to learn random forest. So Abhijit, give them 1 marks, both of them.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, one of them, I could see the name. That was Mr. Rajnikant, and the second, sir, I wasn't unable to see. I wasn't able to see the name, sir. Could you help me with the name?
Yeah. Please help me. Who are that person? Another person, please.
Satyendra Dattatreya.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Done.
So in last few classes, actually, we have learned actually how to create decision tree from a given data set. And we have shown it demonstrate to do the two example, one for regression, another for classification. Exactly, we have and define actually Gini index, and then what we called MME, mean square error, to split the node and get the information get at every node when it get splitted. So this is how the this is how the decision tree works. But problem with decision tree, it's like it's prone to overfitting. Okay, and it is very sensitive to the data they are trained on. So even if you go and change the small amount of data, means you go and add a small amount of data, entirely different tree you will get. So that is problem with decision tree. Therefore, instead of training a single decision tree, it is better to train a group of decision tree which together make a random forest. Have you understood exactly what it's trying to do? So instead of making a single random forest, we are going to make a group of random forest, group of decision tree that will called random forest. So instead of making a single tree decision tree, we'll go and make multiple decision tree. Anyone had doubt exactly how we are going to do it?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have doubt from the decision tree. Sir,
Okay.
cost complexity pruning, I didn't understand that one. TCP
I
pruning.
I didn't hear you clearly. Can you tell me again?
Cost complexity.
Cost
Cost
complexity.
complexity
Which
pruning.
one?
Pruning, I didn't understand, sir.
Okay. No, it's we didn't discuss pruning actually till now. We'll discuss it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Pruning we have not discussed
Oh,
actually. So
yes, sir.
basically, when you have overfitted tree, then you start reducing node. So you start reducing node, so that tree size will decrease. That is called pruning. I will explain it in detail. Okay, we'll learn random forest now, and then we'll see exactly how we'll do pruning actually, and what does it does. Okay. Okay. Shall we
Yes.
go to random forest?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so in random forest we have multiple decision tree. So instead of making a single decision tree from a given data set, we will use that data set to create a multiple training set, and that training set will use to build multiple decision tree, and that is called random forest actually. So basically, forest has multiple trees. That's why it's called random forest. So two main concepts behind the random forest are the wisdom of the crowd. A large group of people are collectively smarter than individual experts. How many of you are agree with this statement?
Can you repeat the statement?
So can you see my screen?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, then you have to ask actually. Sorry.
It's okay, sir.
Oh. Just a minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just doing it. Can you see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So now you can see random forest page.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so random forest is collection of many decision tree. And why we are doing it? Because we have found that decision trees are prone to overfitting. So we don't want the such type of model, overfitted model. So what we are going to do is from a given data set, we are going to develop multiple decision tree, and that's nothing but called random forest, because forest contain multiple trees. And there are two concepts behind the random forest. The concept is the wisdom of crowd. A large group of people are collectively smarter than individual experts. So this was the statement what I was talking about. How many of you are agree with this statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So no problem. Now usually we are same question we ask from multiple people whom we think that they are expert, and whatever collective vote we take and then make our decision actually. That is the way we do it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And another is diversification, a set of uncorrelated trees. How many of you are agree with it? What is uncorrelated tree actually? So we don't know at this point of time, we don't know how to create the diversified decision tree. So have you thought when I was making a statement, from a given data set, we have to create multiple random tree. And what does it mean? Sorry, multiple decision tree. What does it mean? We have a one data set. How can I create multiple decision tree from a given data set?
Changing the little or parent node.
Changing the parents node. Okay, that is good answer. Any more? Try. Can we change the data set itself
Yeah,
in some way? Can we do it?
we can divide into subgroups.
How do we divide data set?
Suppose we have 60 data sets, so we can divide into 3 of 20, 20, 20, like that.
So,
Arbitrary.
so you are saying that 20, 20, 20. Again, then data set will be small, na? And then again it will overfit it. We want to avoid overfitting. So if you give a small data set, it will again overfit our
Then
model.
taking a major part in the common and splitting a small amount and distributing it to others, like 40 in a group, common to all three groups, but 10, 10, 10 we can distribute.
Can you
10,
come up again? Yeah. Can you give some example exactly? Let's say you have 25 data set or 30 data set. So
30 data.
how you are telling to divide data set?
I mean to say that we can have the 20 as a common in all three groups, but 3 entries each we can distribute as a different. So when total there will be 3 or 4 entries will be different in each group. Like that.
This is also good try actually. So okay, so these are like good try, but yes, we can see exactly how this random forest is dividing data set. So in random forest, each decision tree is trained on different random sample of training data set. When sampling is done with replacement, the method is called bagging. How many of you heard about bagging concept? Okay, so basically we have to resample the data set. We have original data set. We have to resample data set and create a bag of data. And this bag of data will be used to create decision tree. So how we are going to create different bag is something called bootstrapping. So from a given data set, let's say original data set, we have 10 sample. So D1 to D10. So what is meaning of sample? Or we have 10 observation. So how many? What does it mean? We have 10 observation means what I want to say.
10 different samples.
We have 10 different sample, and from this 10 different sample, we want to create, let's say, 2 different data set. So how do we do? So what we will do is we will go and randomly. So first of all, this data set, whatever resample data set, that size is going to be same as original data set. So original data set has 10 data. So our resample data also will be 10, 10. That is clear. That is clear for all. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
resample data set size also going to be 10 if my original data set is 10. So how resampling is that? Randomly we will go and pick one data from the bag and give it in sample one bag. So first we'll go and just think it. We have a dabba, big dabba which contains the original data set. Okay, D1 to D10, and we have to create two more dabba out of it, which is called sample 1, sample 2 dabba. Okay, so what we will do is first we'll go and select any sample from the original dabba and give it in sample 1. We'll go and get the data from sample 1, sorry, original data, and put it in sample 1 dabba. But whichever data set we have taken from the data set is again will go and generated actually. So that is meaning of replacement actually. That is again available for selection. So whichever data we have selected from original data set, that is again ready for another selection. So always we have D1 to D10 available in original data set. That is called selection with replacement. Are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Because this is important concept of.
Can you repeat this, sir?
Okay, just try to understand it. We have a.
Why D1 came 2 times, sir, in sample 1?
That's why I'm saying na. So always D1 to D10 will be available in original data set. Okay. If
Yes.
I go and select D1 first time I go and select D1 and put it sample 1.
Okay.
So D1 again will be in data 1 actually. Available actually. So
In one case, it is possible to have all the 10 points as a D1.
yeah, it may be possible, like that may not happen actually. Statistically, it say that 63 times actually you will go and select random sample, different sample. 30 times 63 minus yani 32, around 32 times you will go and get the repeated sample actually. Okay, so that is
Sir,
statistically proven actually.
sir, I have a query.
Yeah.
Sir, we haven't used D2 in a single time. So if we are calculating mean, then it will affect. It won't affect, but in case of median, it will be okay.
See, we have enough data set. That's why one sample is not going to affect their mean actually. If sample is entirely different, sample is coming entirely different population, then only it is going to hamper it. But what we are assuming is D1, D2, whatever data set you have, one distribution, it is generating this data set. So it is not going to hamper your mean and what you called variance.
Okay.
Understood? So data set, you just assume that it is coming from same distribution, not from other distribution which has entirely different mean from this. What you have to understand is how they are resampling it. So they have originally 10 data set. First they go and pick one data set, D1, let's say they have go and picked D1 and put it in sample 1. But in original data set, D1 is still available because what we are doing it with, we are resampling with replacement, means D1 is again available for next choice also. So this D1 to D10 unique data set always present in the dabba, even though if you take out to create another sample, but this is like automatic, you just think it always D1 to D10 always be in dabba, original dabba actually. So first times we went and then selected D1. Second time we went and selected randomly D3. Like that we have selected third time actually, see, we have selected D1 actually. Because D1 was there in the data set. So again, we have selected D1. Like that, 10 times we went and select different samples, and this is the how this is sample 1 has created. This is how the sample D1 to D1, D3, 2 times D1 I think we have collected. And then 2 times D10 also. And left right hand side you can say which are not part of this training data set. So sample 1 dabba. So that is D2, D4 and D6. So are you understanding or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically we are sampling data with replacement actually. So original, whatever original data set we have, that will always be present in that, and then we have to resample. We have to every time we have to go and resample it.
Sir, then can we use the D1 maximum 9 times?
Do
Yeah, 10 times.
that? Yes. Worst
63%.
case you can get D1 10 times actually. Worst case you will get all data sets same actually, but that not happened actually. Statistically it say that 63% of your original data will be unique
Okay, sir.
statistically. Okay. So in your training data set, 33% times you will have repeated data, 63 times you will have unique data set.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So
Worst case you can, yes, you can get it actually. But
in
that's,
this in this case, D1 maximum 3 times.
yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
It is not like how many times. It is just you are just going and what you call the closing your eye and picking one number from the dabba. Okay. So very rarely actually you will get all this sample all together same numbers actually same observation. Very rare.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And what is out of bag observation is which is not part of the training data set. So original data set minus. So you have to go and get the unique data set. Original data set minus sample of this will be out of bag sample. Whichever not part of this sample, which that will be out of bag observation. So in sample 1, D2, D4 and D6 is like which are not part of the sample 1. And D5, D10, D8 and D2 not part of sample 2. So this is out of bag sampling. Out of bag observation it called. And so do you know where this bootstrap have used actually? Random forest in machine learning they are using it, but somewhere else also bootstrap method used to get something. Can anyone know? So actually this is used in statistics. And anyone tell where you can use this method, where you can use and what sorts of stats you will get while doing this?
checking, gambling,
No, sir. No idea, sir.
in
So
type
it,
problem.
yeah, so in statistic actually it can be used to get the statistics of distribution. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we'll move. So this is how this bagging. So this is how this bagging works. So you have training data set. This training data set used to create these four sample training samples, and this data set is used to build a decision tree, and that decision tree will use to have get the prediction. Understood? Original data set used to read original data set we have used to resample the data set, created 4 bags of data. These 4 bags of data is used to create model decision tree, and that model will use to get the prediction. Okay, let's say we have to predict cat or dog. So let's say three trees told that is a cat, and one tree told that will be a predicted that will be dog. So what will be your answer? What will be your conclusion?
Cat.
So that is nothing but the maximum vote, correct? Mode of all your prediction. So maximum vote, whichever, just you count how many yes, how many dog, how many, so whichever will be maximum, that will be your prediction. So any doubt?
No.
If you
No, sir.
if you have any doubt, you just ask me. Then we will move to another concept. Any doubt? And
No, sir.
in case of continuous variable, what will be your what will be prediction? So in case of classification where you have to predict cat and dog, you have counted how many cat, how many dog, how many predicted cat, how many predicted dog, and then based on that you selected actually. In case of regression, how do you make prediction? You have to ask question now, because decision tree for both regression and classification. So what we will do in case of regression?
We'll take the mean of
Takes
maximum number. Mean of
correct. So we'll take mean of whatever they predicted. So let's say prediction is 1.5, let's say no, 1.8, 1.9, and let's say 2. So we'll take sum and then divide by numbers of trees. That will be our prediction. So nothing but the mean of all prediction.
sir. Why only mean? I think median will be good, na? Because mean or median.
So why do you think median will be the? So you are telling that if some outliers are there in prediction, so you can saved actually, correct? You can be saved in that case. So usually we make large number of tree, around 100, 200 trees. So your mean and median I think will come same only. But in this case we are using mean, not median. So okay, let's say you have a distribution, normal distribution. What will be your mean and median?
Both will lie on
Same.
So mean and median will be same, correct?
Yes, sir.
So here also it may be that hypothesis is there when you have a large number of tree, when n tends to infinity, that predicts whatever prediction distribution will be like what you call normal, and then you can take mean as a the over aggregated prediction. But I will check actually whether you have provision to take median also. I will check in Python whether they are using it anywhere. Okay. But usually they take mean. But I have to check actually, can we take median also? Shall we move? No?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a query.
Pardon? Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we are creating different samples with same data set. Then how many decision trees will be formed?
So that depend actually how many you want to form. Let's say you want to form 100 tree, or if you want to create 1000 trees, what will be difference on this actually? Where will be difference?
Then how will we control it?
What do you want to control here?
Number of decision trees.
So that is your choice actually. How many? That's why we do cross validation. Na? How many tree? So all this will be like a hyperparameter for this model. How many numbers of tree? How many features will be part of node for splitting that node? All will be part of your hyperparameter. So you can make infinite number of, you can keep infinite number of trees in a random forest, but only thing is your computation burden will increase with increase in number of tree. And mostly it says that when you increase number of tree, where your prediction will go, your prediction will improve, because you are including more wiser people to answer your question. So you can increase infinite number of tree, but we will see exactly how to get optimal number of tree, and that will come from the hyperparameter tuning and cross validation. That and all we are going to see in case study. Okay.
Okay.
So you can keep any number of tree. No one will stop you doing that. And usual choice is you just keep 50, 100, 500 like that. You can keep based on your also based on your data set. So there are lots of hyperparameter, like how much depth how many times do you want to split the tree? Okay, how many trees do you want? So number of estimators. We'll all discuss actually when we'll come to case study. We'll discuss all these things. And another concept is feature randomness. So I will ask question actually why random forest is called random. Where randomness is coming to random forest or tree actually. One way to create randomness is bootstrapping. Correct. You have created different bag with different data set by resampling technique. And what else actually? That another is feature randomness. So what it's saying that you don't have to keep all feature, you don't have to make available all features for splitting. What we used to do it decision tree, normal decision tree, whatever all features will go to node and then split it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. All feature we have seen all feature were part of this, and then we used to calculate what is the corresponding to each feature, what is Gini index, or what is mean absolute error, mean absolute error, and then we used to split it. But it feature in random forest and in feature randomness, we are not making available all feature to the decision tree. We are only giving a subset of the feature and and uh, and ask random forest to create forest based on this feature only. So it says that all features are not part of the random forest, and that also in Python there is a provision actually. Do you want to use all features to be part of random forest, or do you want to use subset of the feature? That also we'll see how to do this hyperparameter tuning. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have seen this thing actually. All feature we use in decision tree, but in random forest part of the feature will use, and we will go and randomly select the feature, and that this selection create randomness in feature, and it will create bootstrapping, and random selection of feature makes random forest random actually. All trees look different from others, otherwise all person are same intelligence, then no need to ask question to each person. You just go and ask question from one person and get the answer. If all have different intelligence but they are intelligent people, then only you will get good choice, correct? Good answer. So two way we are making random forest as randomness, creating randomness in random forest. One is selecting resampling data using bootstrap technique. Another is feature randomness, where we are using only, we select random features and use to create tree. So these are the concept actually. So we have finished random forest till random forest. So we have finished decision tree both for classification, and we have shown it for classification and regression, and we have shown exactly how this random forest works. So random forest is nothing but collection of all your trees, collection of decision tree, and can be used for both classification and regression. Okay. So next class we are going to see case study.
Okay.
Any question?
No, sir.
Sir,
So
what are the
next,
criteria when we use all features, and what are the criteria when we use subset features?
so see, I told you now that is part of hyperparameter actually. You have to see actually which way will give you good what you call good model accuracy. Either you go and select all feature, or you go and select subset of the feature. So there are way to select subset of the feature. Is one is square root of total number of feature, another is log 2 of total feature actually. So these are all hyperparameter. Hyperparameter are those handles which you can play around and control the accuracy, can use to what you call improve your accuracy. Okay, no one knows actually for given data set either your whole feature will work good or subset of the feature will work good. So you have to go and keep trying and get check accuracy every time actually. So you just can think actually how many different times we'll go and do same thing. That's why there is a automatic way of doing hyperparameter tuning actually. So what it does is you just give your choice. I want to try all this subset of I want to try all this thing, like I want to try different numbers of trees in forest. I want to try different method of feature selection. All this thing you just create a grid, or that is called hyperparameters grid, and then give to random forest. It will go and try all this combination and give you results, give you optimal tree actually, optimal what you call optimal hyperparameter. That is those hyperparameters where they found good accuracy, and that will be your model actually, model hyperparameters. So you can go and then design tree based on that hyperparameter. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So in database modeling, there are lots of trial you have to do. So, and it is not like you have to do and do it like manually. It is not like that. There are optimization routine also to do it. There are like grid search approach. There are random search approach. Plenty of approach exists. What you have to do, you have to give your thought exactly how many trees, how many feature, different types of feature selection, how many numbers of split, what is the stopping criteria to grow the tree. All the thing you have to give, and then algorithm will go create combination of all this and create tree for you, and it will also return the best out of all search. That and all we are going to see it in next class. First, so it may be case study will last for 2. First we will see exactly how to load data, how to create a project, and then how to import data, and then some visualization we will see. After that we will go and fit a random forest with default parameter, and then we will do hyperparameter tuning. And we'll see that after doing hyperparameter tuning, whether we can improve the accuracy or not. And then also we will go and see which are the important features in random forest actually. And what is important feature and why do we want to do it? What is important feature? Have you come up across this thing, terminology? Any idea?
No.
Yeah, someone was saying something actually that not voice is not clear. See, important features or high influencing parameters are most important things anyone asks in data science. Whichever you build model, na, people will ask which are the high influencing parameter features. And why people want to know, because if creating each and every data will cost you something, correct? Why do you want to waste your money to create such or collect such features which is not impacting your model, which does not have any impact on your model, or let's say 1% or 1%, 2% improvement? For that you are expending money in lakhs or something. So people does not want to do, and then they'll ask you, okay, you have considered, let's say, x1 to x10 feature, which are the most important feature is, and you are getting x% accuracy. Okay, so you have to tell that what is the contribution of each and every feature on that accuracy. So which are the most influencing property, which are the least influencing property. So least influencing property, you just remove it and build model with only what you called most important. So in that way you can save money, you can save time, you can also save computational burden to learn train model. All those things you can do. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So experiment, if you are doing some sorts of experiment, these are most important thing you have to ask actually. So let's say you are doing an experiment and then you are using some of those experiment to predict some behavior of let's say manufacturing behavior, or let's say casting defect itself. So out of this, it's not like all feature impact equally. Some of the features have more impact, some of the feature has less impact, and then but it may be data collection required lots of time and money. So you can just remove it, some of the feature, if it is not improving your accuracy. And that is the most practical thing actually. Okay, so next class we'll meet and then we'll discuss this case study.
Okay, sir.
Before
Okay,
that, just install all this and then check that your Anaconda is working. Mostly Spider. Just open Spider IDE and see is it working or not. Just make a small function and just run it.
Okay, sir.
Spider.
Add two number, make a function, add two number and just print that result. That's all, and then see whether it is working or not.
Okay, sir.
Sir, we are
Okay,
going to work on Jupyter or Spider.
we are going to use Spider. Okay.
Okay.
So I will tell you exactly how to build model, and then also I will teach you serialization and deserialization concept. So let's say you have built your model, and next time what you will use it, you have to just use that model to predict it. So how you will use it? First you have to save your model, that is called serialization. And how to do all the thing I will tell you systematically actually. Otherwise people do lots of mistakes in this. They train model and keep feature in one sequence, and then when come for prediction they keep feature in another sequence. So they'll miss all this, they make lots of mistakes in this. So all the thing I will teach you in this. So we'll make model, we'll save model, we'll utilize that model to predict it. Okay. So if you have any data set, you can also try it out and then see exactly how does it work. And anyway, you have the project also. So same way I want you to do it. Okay. Okay, boss. So for today, it's okay. That's all. And we'll meet on Monday.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Good night.
bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay.